So we're holding the laws of Shabbos, section 274, Simun Ein Daled Reish, halacha Vav 6 v'chevan she'ochal yeser me'at mikabetza yotze de chavase. Once one eats slightly more than an egg-sized portion, bread, right, challah, he fulfilled his obligation. Eating only an egg-sized portion is, however, considered as snacking, and one does not thereby fulfill his obligation. If he ate a little bit more than an egg volume, he fulfilled his obligation. But if he just ate exactly the amount of an egg's volume, it's not considered, it's just snacking, it's not eating. However, considered as snacking, and one does not thereby fulfill his obligation. There are, however, other authorities who maintain that one fulfills his obligation with olive-sized portion, even a smaller size, olive size. Doesn't even have to be kabetza, it doesn't even have to be a size of an egg. Even if it's an olive size, there are some opinions that you fulfill your obligation. And there are authorities who maintain that for the third meal, Suda Shlishis, one need not partake of bread at all. All these different views will be explained in section 291. But he writes in 18, generally when you see the term an egg's volume, the measure of an egg, kabetza, is used, when using this terminology, it refers to an egg with its shell. In a contemporary measure, the figure generally given is 57 cc, or 2.03 ounces. That's kabetza, 2 ounces.
I think, if I'm right, kabetza is the volume of 6 eggs, right?
No, it's one egg. One egg. It's 2.03 ounce. Yeah, it says. I'm going to read it again. Generally, when the measure of an egg.
A log is 6.
No, something else.
I made a mistake. Sorry.
But 2.03 ounce or 57 cc. It must be emphasized, however, that this measure, and also that of kazais, when we say the word kazais, an olive-sized measure, is a measure of volume, not a measure of weight. Measure of volume, not measure of weight. When measuring foods or liquids that have a similar consistency as water, the food's weight can be used to measure its volume. Thus, 57 cc will weigh 57 grams. When foods have a different density, the weight of an egg-sized portion will vary. Moreover, in section 486, based on Uktzin 2.8, it says the Alter Rebbe writes that these measures should be calculated without crushing the small air pockets within the food. You have sourdough bread. If you ever tasted very good bread, you cut it into two. You have a lot of air pockets inside. Yeah. So the Alter Rebbe writes that these measures should be calculated without crushing the small air pockets within the food. Without crushing means that they are calculated. The specific density of bread, cake, and crackers ranges from 0.5 to 0.75, and even less where there are air pockets. For example, an egg-sized portion of matzah, egg-sized, when you say an egg size, when it comes to matzah, you need to eat kazait or kabetza matzah, right? For example, an egg-sized portion of matzah or crackers will weigh 28.8 grams. You want to know what is kabetza? You have to have 28, let's say 29 grams, 28.8, so 29 grams. Also, this amount of bread must be eaten within a specific amount of time, right? Right. Achilas pras, twice kedei achilas pras, a total of 8 minutes according to the more stringent views. See Alter Rebbe in Seder Netilas Yadayim, subsection 18. So where the Alter Rebbe mentions an option that eating an egg-sized portion is sufficient. So even when you see an egg portion, you have to try to eat a little bit more to get through all the different opinions, whether it's a weight by volume, by density, by weight.
Yeah.
So to cover all opinions, you should eat a proper kabetza. So, because this is a continuation of what we learned yesterday. You can eat a bunch of delicacies on Shabbos, but if you didn't wash your hands for bread, you didn't do the mitzvah of Sudas Shabbos. You know, to do the mitzvah of having a meal on Shabbos, you have to eat bread. You have to have a moitzi. So how much bread do you have to eat? Maybe you are on a carbo diet. So a lot of people that do a diet that they're not eating starch, they're not eating carbohydrates. Bread is carbohydrates. So what do you do on Shabbos? You break your diet, you're eating a small amount of bread. So how small? So it becomes very relevant to us. How small?
So it needs to be like a fistful.
Is it list kazais? But it's now we see that it's not so simple because it's not just volume. It could be also, it's not really measured 2 ounces. It's measured only by weight or by.
Now eggs too, they're different sizes, not just the bread, but nowadays you have extra large eggs.
Right, and you have the eggs have also a specific density than bread.
Right.
The air pockets in eggs and the air pockets in.
Some eggs now are huge. You look at the store, it's crazy.
And that's the reception.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're very welcome.